Hello there. Welcome to the first episode of the Lias Up North podcast. This is not usually the content that I make. It usually always involves machines and such. I wanted to make a podcast because on this day, or the day that this is released, will mark 10 years since the Warning Rock Band was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, her daytime talk show. In 2015, they were on there. This was my first introduction to the band. I came home from school that day, and my dad was home before me. He said that there were going to be these girls with a band on there. Of course, being a teenage boy, I thought, just going to be a couple girls with microphones and, yeah, whatever. That kind of attitude. That's the attitude you have at that age. And well, anyways, I decided to watch it because why not? Whatever. And I was blown away by their talent. They were kids at the time. All three are younger than I am. Not by much, but a little bit younger than I am. And that much talent. And I definitely didn't have that talent and still don't to this day. So I thought it was kind of interesting that they were making rock music when rock music, a lot of people said, was gone and done with. Although they've proven that it's not. And it is here to stay because, well, rock on. Rock music is the best, you know? So that was how I was introduced to them. And not having any YouTube at the time or anything, I didn't know how to find them or anything. So basically, it was just, I asked the good Lord to let me see who they become. And He did. When the music video for Choke was released, it popped up on my YouTube. I thought, well, that looks interesting. I'll check it out. Always ready to listen to some good new music. And I did. I checked it out. And I thought that it was great. I started playing a few of their songs sometimes. I was a casual listener, just here and there, listen to a song or two of theirs. Until More came out. When More came out, it popped up on my YouTube. And I thought, well, I'll have to check that out. And of course, being busy, I waited. And finally, the one day I saw it, and I thought, well, I got some time. I'll check it out. And I did. So I checked it out. Great stuff. I love the colors in that music video. I don't know why. I just like pastel colors and stuff like that. So anyways, I checked it out. I liked it. And I thought, well, I have to see all their music now. Check out all their songs and videos and stuff. And I became a big fan then. So that's kind of how that started. After becoming a pretty big fan of the band, I was reading a story about them, and it said that they were on the Ellen show back in 2015. And I thought, well, I must have seen that, didn't I? And it sort of started to come back to me. And then I was like, oh, that was those girls on that show way, way back when. It doesn't seem like that long ago, but, well, now, as of the day this comes out, 10 years. That's insane. How does time move that fast? But anyways, I remembered that. And so I had to go check it out online. And yes, that was it. It came back to me. It was like seeing it again the first time. When I first seen it, I knew that they were going to help rock music come back. The Warning has a great community of fans following them, and I am one included. And being a fan of the band has led me to other rock music communities and other rock bands too. There are many great rock bands out there. As being a fan of The Warning has helped the YouTube algorithm lead me to other bands that are great. So of course I gotta give a shout out. Of course, Freeze the Fall. They're really cool. Out of Canada. Good people. South Arcade from the UK. They have a mid-2000s vibe going on, like their song 2005. They have pop punk, power pop, rock kind of style. Really cool. Good stuff. And Dreadlight from Oregon, USA. They're really cool. They're a really good, talented band. Then Artemized from Italy. They're a really good duo. Manuela is the drummer and singer, which, as you know from the warning, Paulina sometimes sings and drums at the same time. That takes a lot of talent to do. And then Michela is backup singer and bassist. She does the lead riffs and rhythms and stuff on bass, and that's it. It's them two. And they're really good. They have a couple covers out. They covered The Warning and Muse. And they have an original song out, Artemis Spell. It's really good. It's a really good song. And they have a lot of talent, but unfortunately the algorithm hasn't pushed their music too much, and I don't know why. That's just how it works, I guess. So give them a shout out. They're really good. Check them out. And then Unpolished from Los Angeles, USA. They're really cool too. They have a sort of punk rock, hard rock, metal kind of sound. They're really good. They got some bad words in their music, but it's totally fine. It works. They're not like some supposed artists who see how many bad words they can put in a sentence. No, it truly works. It's tasteful. It's good music. Real good music, so give them a shout out. Yep. And then all the way from New Zealand, well, where I'm at, that's a long ways. Coast Arcade. Coast Arcade is no relation to South Arcade. They were formed around the same time, but one's from the UK, like I said, and the other from New Zealand. And it just happened to have a similar name. Really cool band. I really love them. They're very nice people, and they make good music. I love their music, and they're really good people, and they are great. And then also from New Zealand, a band called Black Smoke Trigger. Right after I really got into the music of The Warning, it said on YouTube, you may also like this. And they have a song, Caught in the Undertow, really good stuff. And they have other great songs too, and I like all these bands. Of course, these aren't all of my favorite bands. These are just the ones who were suggested to me after becoming a fan of The Warning. So, shout out to all them bands. They're all great bands. The Warning too. All really good. I have a playlist called Excellent Modern Rock Videos, which feature most of the artists I mentioned in the podcast. I'll try to put a link to it at the end of this, or you can always click on my profile picture and view channel. I have a few other playlists on there. Now sometimes on some of my other favorite bands, there's negative comments. Of course some people just have a negative attitude towards everything and you just say, never mind, and move on. But the one I see most often is people saying, oh, well, this band is just a wannabe Warning. And that really bugs me. That really bugs me because this is a band who, yes, maybe they were inspired by The Warning, and maybe a couple of their songs have a similar sound or a similar theme, but none of them are direct copies of The Warning's music or anything. And so that kind of bugs me, because I like all these bands. All these bands are good people making good music, and that's something that's needed a lot today, is good music. There isn't very much on the radio that's good, except older stuff. And eventually you get tired of that, so you gotta find what you like. So yeah, that kind of comment kind of bugs me, but it is what it is. People are strange sometimes. But yes, The Warning, they are a very good band. Now, they may not have invented rock, they may not have invented women in rock, even sisters in rock. There are many other bands with sisters in them, but they are restoring rock music, and that's what I like so much about them. They're good people making good music, and they are restoring rock and inspiring new artists to try music. It's good to get into music. The Warning has also introduced me to a few new communities of rock music fans. There are many out there, but they themselves, in the comment section, have a good crew of people. They also introduced me to Psychology of Rock. Give a shout out to Nina, Psychology of Rock. Good community there. And in her videos, she analyzes the lyrics of The Warning and other great rock and metal bands. Really good community there, too. Sorry I haven't commented that much lately. I try to watch and like and comment, but I'm often very busy with everything else going on. That's the way it happens, I guess. And another cool community out there. Shout out to Jesse, BEL Development. Cool stuff there too. Yeah. He does reactions and stuff, and real cool channel there. Another great community of music fans. So now, if you've made it this far into the podcast, well, you are a legend. Sorry if I sound a little bit awkward. I'm kind of awkward on camera and recordings. That's just how it works, I guess. I may do another podcast in the future, possibly. Maybe not. I don't know. If this one goes good. If this one goes good, I might. There's other topics to talk about out there, but anyways, thanks for listening, and well, that's it for today, and have a good one.